welcome back to the club. How does it feel to be back?
Yeah, feels good. Obviously, it was a short time away, and now I'm back. So yeah, it feels really good to be back. Obviously, it wasn't for very long, so can't pretend that loads has changed. But one thing has stayed constant, and that is a desire from everyone to kick on, win some games, and get at that league table. So yeah, really disappointed with the last league outing, weren't we? Really good reaction on the Tuesday night, albeit in the Virtue Trophy, and we've got a really tough team coming to town tomorrow.
Because it was such a quick turnaround, does it feel like you ever even be left?
I think it does. I think it does a little bit. I think when you do leave, and they say a couple of weeks is a long time in football, in life, but in football it is. So yeah, it did feel a bit odd when you come back in. It felt like you'd been away for longer. Than you start your relationships going again with the players and the staff, like the media guys and that, and it does feel like you've never been away. So yeah, it does feel good to be back. And as I said, it's all focus on Saturday now.
And it was a big call, obviously, to go and take a manager's job and move on. What can you tell us about why ultimately it just didn't work out down there?
I think the statement says it all, Rob. Without trying to avoid your question, mate, I think it was personal reasons with situations, and footballing, non-football. That's not for my place to divulge. As the statement's gone out, and it wouldn't be fair on either party to say any more on that. But when the opportunity did arise after leaving to return here in my previous role, I obviously couldn't turn that down.
What went wrong in the game against Colchester?
Oh, good question. I missed your questions, Rob. Get straight to it. Didn't play very well. Every time Colchester went forward, they looked like they were going to score. Every time there was I wouldn't say 50-50, because I know our lads don't duck out of tackles and that, but they were just getting on the right side of the ball. It felt like they were just overpowering us as a team, and that's something the manager was probably most displeased with after. He always says he doesn't. Of course, he minds losing, but if you lose with playing the way he wants to play and having a right go, and I think that's the same with supporters. If they see that, they'll forgive results, but when they see obviously a little bit more fight maybe in the Colchester squad over the course of the 90 odd minutes on Saturday, that's disappointing. The players were certainly disappointed. The ones who came in the team on Tuesday, I thought, didn't put that game to bed, but helped put it to a bit of a memory, a bad memory, albeit a nightmare. And now we've got another game in front of a packed house tomorrow to put that further back in the memory bank.
Are some of the challenges not easily fixed? Because last month there was one league win, and it was against the team that is obviously towards the bottom of the league, at the bottom of the league. And then this month has not started particularly well. Is it tricky at the minute? Are there things that you as a staff are trying to work through to enable this team to move forward now?
Yeah, there's a lot of things there. I think Gafford spoke about, obviously, within ranks, which I won't go into, that he wants us to improve on. At the start of the season, the shout for everyone was that we concede a few less goals than we did last year. That will help our cause of not only being in the playoffs, but maybe getting near that top three. And so far, we conceded more goals than we would have wanted as a team. So that's something we want to put right. And albeit on Tuesday in the Virtue Trophy, with all due respect to the competition, it was great to get a clean sheet, and with JD coming back in the back line and a couple of other lads in Vontae and Adam Lewis coming in and Boot coming in, we have got good reinforcements in those areas, and lads know their shirts are never safe. I haven't decided on the team yet tomorrow, by the way, but it was great for those defensive lads in particular to put in a good shift the other night. We had a bad run, didn't we, over Christmas last year due to injuries, probably. We haven't had that injury pile up, so I'm certainly not using that excuse for, I wouldn't even say a bad run, but certainly a bad result at Colchester. Let's not get away from that. So yeah, on a positive spin, you'd like to think we've got our sort of mini blip out the way. Saying that, I think sadly a bad result, like it should do sometimes at Colchester, sort of makes the doom and gloom look a little bit darker than what it actually is. But you can't get away from it. To concede 6 goals away from home for a team that hasn't having a great season, we're all gutted, disappointed, a little bit angry, as are the players. And it's our job to make sure we bounce back tomorrow, because if we win tomorrow, we could be in the top 3 and everything looks rosy again.
You both yourself and the manager, you mentioned this after the game. There are things internally that you don't want to get into. I totally respect that. That you've got to sort through. But I do wonder, are those things that it's a case of talking to certain players, trying to work through things? Is it stuff that you're looking to resolve by working on certain things on the training ground? How are you going to fix some of these issues that you've both referenced now?
All those things you just said, bang on. Individual meetings, individual chats, individual work, teamwork on the training ground, watching things back, put your arm around people, giving other people a kick up the backside, all the things that managers and coaches are expected to do, especially a manager as good and experienced as our gaffer, that he's very good at all of those things. So it's usually times like now where I've seen in my time being here with the gaffer, his experience comes to the fore, and he gets people going again. Since the Colchester game, everyone's been at it. Sometimes it goes the other way, and you see lads go in their shell, you see people sulk, you see people don't want to face up to the next game because, we can't lose again. And this week we haven't seen that. We've seen a group of players that want to get back on a horse and start winning games and get our supporters singing once more.
What's the news on Will Grigg? Is there any update on his health?
Yeah, he had a scan. There's a bit of damage in this, like an abductor, sort of near his groin area. It's not majorly bad, and it's going to be probably a couple of weeks.
You are still unbeaten at home in the league this year. How important is it to protect that? Is that a record that ultimately can be the foundation for what you want to achieve this year?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think that we always fancy ourselves at home, fancy ourselves away. We went down to Colchester and fancied ourselves to win, and it went horribly wrong. So sometimes the older hands out and go, the best team not only won, but smashed us. So it's a bitter pill to swallow, games like that. But when you're playing at home on the Tuesday, like we've just had that game, and we've got another big game tomorrow against Salford at home, yeah, the pressure's on us, and rightly so, because we're one of the favourites to be up the right end. And we've got a good team, fantastic set of supporters. So we'll have the pressure on us, in front of 7,500, 8,000 people. And when we do turn out home, we usually turn up. In my time here, there's probably a handful of games where we haven't turned up. Teams, I think it was Accrington last year, wasn't it? Lost 3-0 at home. We had the odd game, but we've got to make sure that, like you say, Rob, we keep continuing this fortress-like atmosphere we've created here and the supporters have created here, because I haven't left here many Saturday nights after games and been disappointed. We have to make sure that continues if you want to be at the right end.
If you're able to beat Salford, a team that's above you in the table, can that be the thing that just like lifts everything, gets it going, turns the corner a little bit so that can now go on this positive run? Because I think when you beat a team that is above you, people will go into this one thinking it's a close game. It can really sort of spur everybody, can't it, if you can get the 3 points?
Yeah, I think when a supporter leaves a game, they want to be entertained and they want to see a win. Let's get it right. And the next thing they do, like we all do, is probably, even though we don't admit it, is have a little sneaky look at the league table. So if you tick all those boxes, it's usually been a cracking weekend. I think, and rightly so, after not just a 1-0 at a League Two rival, when you concede a lot of goals, and we've seen too many goals for our liking this season, by the way, and have a bad performance and a bad result, and you sort of drop out the playoffs, it does feel like the world's going to end for us all. I'll be lying. I'm not saying it's just on people outside the camp. All of us in here, that week's a tough week sometimes. The players have felt this week because they've really been at it. We've been at it. So I think regardless of them being above us in the table, regardless of anything, I don't think it's been a particularly bad run of form at all. I think we're coming off a very bad league result. Let's get it right. So there has to be a level of bounce back ability. I never thought I'd use that word. And albeit against a team that are our rivals in terms of going for the top end of the table, it's important that we show that initial reaction. The first 5-10 minutes, we're at it. We get supporters off their seat. And listen, Saturday come 5 o'clock, if we're up near the top end of the table, it means we've had a really good day.